Hi everyone, this video tutorial will demonstrate how to create your own map using Google My Maps. Google My Maps is an online interactive mapping tool, and it allows students to visualize locations by adding and dropping pins to locations, adding images and texts to describe them, etc. So let's get started. We are in our Chrome browser, and notice that I am logged in using my school username and password, and I'm just going to Google My Maps. And I'm going to click on Google My Maps, and this is what the interface will look like. So all of the maps that have been shared with me will appear under this tab. All of the maps that I've looked at recently will appear over here, and all of the maps that are owned by me will appear over here. We're going to go ahead and click on Create a New Map. The first thing we're going to do is title our map, and we are going to call it Places Near Me. I can add a description over here, my history project for term 2, and I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to tell you that we have layers in maps where each layer has its own set of data, and each layer can sit on top of each other. So when we are in preview mode, or when we share our map, we can actually select and deselect data. So the first layer that I'm gonna actually name is called My School. Save. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save my school's location in this layer. And then I'm going to add in more layers with different information. So I'll walk you through how that looks. So I'm going to search in the search bar. I'm going to search for my school, which is St. Monica's, Parramatta. And notice as I keep searching, I have all of these prompts to choose perhaps a school from Bermuda, or perhaps something that's also in Parramatta right here, the parish. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, select St. Monica's Primary School, add this to my map. I'm going to click on this pencil icon to edit how that pinned location will look. I'm going to remove this, and I can add in my own description here. So this is my description for my school. I'm going to save that. And what I can also do is I can go onto the style icon and change the style of how my marker will look. So at the moment, notice here that this is blue and it shows you that this is your pinned location. I'm going to go ahead and choose perhaps a lighter blue or an orange, a deeper orange. I'm going to go into icons, and I'm going to select the school icon, which is right over here. I also have the option to customize my own icons and then choose them from there, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to go ahead and select OK, and see how that looks in this layer. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and untick this one. I'm going to add in another layer, and I'm going to name it Historical Places Near My School. Oops. I'm going to save that. Okay. And now, because this is unticked and this one is ticked, I'm going to go ahead and search for Parramatta Female Factory. Okay, and I'm going to add this location to my map. Again, edit and remove. Description goes here. Save that. And what I'm going to show you now is how to add an image or a video to your pinned location. So again, camera option, camera icon, and I'm going to upload and select a file from my device. And I'm going to search for Parramatta Female Factory. It is an image that I have saved already on my device, And just a note of caution, when you are uploading images, remember that you need to choose images that do not breach copyright. Open, and that's uploading. And I'll show you how that looks once it's finished uploading. And this is how that pinned location will look. I can again go ahead, change the style of that icon. So maybe I want all of the styles to appear brown with perhaps a house symbol on them. So these are all of my historical locations. If I go into edit again, notice how I have a plus against this, and I can actually go ahead, click on this plus, and now I have the options to choose an image from my Google Drive, do a Google image search and search the web, or I can actually search for a YouTube video on the Parramatta Female Factory. I'm going to click on the search icon, and I'm happy with the second one, and I'm going to select that, and I can save that. And now you notice I have this arrow where it's telling me 1 of 2 or 2 of 2, so I can actually toggle through that. And I'm going to close this marker. Now imagine that I have been asked to measure the distance between my school and a historical place near my school, and I have to do my research on this historical place. I'm just going to zoom out of this map to show you where my school is. Okay, so this is where my school is, and this is where Parramatta Female Factory is, and I can see that because of my markers right there. What I'm going to do is show you this tool where I'm going to draw a line, and then what we're going to do is we're going to measure that line. So I'm drawing this line here. Okay, and this line is following me, and it will keep following me unless I double click. I can actually use it to create a shape as well, but that's not something that I want. So I'm going to go ahead, delete that, and I'm going to undo this. Again, go back to my draw a line tool. I'm going to draw a line between my 2 locations. And what I will do is then double click to get rid of that, and I'm going to name my line. Oops. Distance measured. And I'm going to save that. I can go into the style icon and I can change the color of that line. Perhaps I want it to appear purple, a little bit thicker so I can see it. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this ruler option. And what you can do is you can actually measure your line, and it's telling me it's 1.11 kilometers. What I might do is if I go from here and then I come back over here is how much? 2.26 kilometers. So I'm going to go back in my distance measured, and I'm going to edit my text here, and I'm going to actually call it distance to and from school is 2.23 kilometers, and I can save that. And now if we go into preview, I can actually see all of the changes that I've made. So these were the layers that I was talking about earlier. See how I've unticked that, so now you can't see where the school is? In this layer you can see St. Monica's Primary School, and you can see the distance measured. And if I untick this, now you can't see the Parramatta Female Factory over here. But if I do this, you can see that this is where I've placed my marker. So I'm going to go back into edit mode. And I'm going to show you one more thing, which is importing data from a Google Sheet. So imagine if we had 80 schools that we wanted to add to Google Maps. And putting them all in individually would take a lot of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to untick these 2 layers, and I'm going to add in another layer. And I'm going to call it imported from Google Sheets. Save that. See how you have this prompt here? You can add places to this layer by drawing or importing data. So what we're going to do is we're going to import, and we're going to search Google Drive for a sheet that I have prepared earlier called 200 Years My Maps working doc. And it's retrieving data. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to actually show you what that sheet looks like. So in this sheet, I have a school name, I have the suburb, I have a level, whether it's a primary or a secondary. I have the website of that school, the year the school opened, and against some of the schools, I have image links and some of them are blank. So let's see how that will look. The first time it's going to ask me to choose columns that will help me to position my place marks. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my school name and suburb so that Google can search for those. And I'm going to go click continue. And then it's asking me to choose a column to title my markers. And I want to title them according to the school name. And I'm going to go ahead and click on finish. And now you can see that it's loading all of my data. And when it's done, it'll show you how in just a few clicks, it's uploaded around 80 schools that I have sitting in my Google Sheet. Okay, and if there are problems within your sheet, it will actually show them to you here. For the moment, I'm just going to click on dismiss. And we're just going to zoom right in to see all of our schools. All right, now these are all of the schools that I have coming in from my Google Sheets. If I untick that, you don't see it here, and I can actually show you these two. And we're just going to zoom into Parramatta so you can actually see where we were. All right, so these are markers that you've put in earlier manually, and these are markers that have basically popped in because we've imported data from Google Sheets. I'm going to show you how some of these look. So I'm going to click on this one, and it actually says Sacred Heart primary, that's the suburb, our school level, the website link, and against the image link it says no value. That's because we don't have anything in our Google Sheet against Sacred Heart primary. But imagine if we actually chose, okay, let's see if we have anything against. This school right here, which is Emmaus. Okay. Let's just log. Okay. So this is the one that we're looking at. Now, see how it says the image link is here? And if I click into that, this will take me to the state library page showing me an image of that school that I have saved in my Google Sheet. All right, and this is that link. We're going to go back to My Maps, and what I'm going to show you is how this is different to uniform style and this is individual styles. See how these two look different? That's because we've chosen individual formatting styles and we have chosen a uniform style here. So if I click on even one and change the style of one, that will change it for all of them. So perhaps I want them all to appear into this dark indigo color, and we can click on done. And then if I go into preview, I can see all of my data that has been pulled in from my Google Sheets and all of the historical places and my school pinned location. So again, zooming in, okay, and we can see all of these locations here. We can go ahead, click into a link here, or what we can do is go into historical places, for example, and look at how Parramatta Female Factory looks with our video and our image. And this is where all of our description or our report will go. Thanks for watching.